Hello again, and welcome back to Illegally Cited. This is BGFH, and I am back for an accessible iOS app video. Not a game, but another app. And I wanted to cover this one because it's one that I've been finding increasingly useful over the past couple of years. And I really like it a lot. We are looking at it here. It is called Dark Sky. It is not a free app. I think it's like $1 or $2, but I find it highly worth the price of admission. It's actually really handy. So Dark Sky is an app that it can kind of tell you a little bit about the weather, it gives you a little bit about the forecast, but its primary focus is to actually give you information about severe weather, and just weather in general. Sprinkles, rain, thunderstorms, tornadoes, blizzard, snow, anything like that. So we're on the main screen here. I just searched for a kind of a fairly local address in town. Not going to give away my personal address.
Location 2100 University Avenue W, St. Paul, MN.
So, I'm not going to give my personal address, but we'll just work for it in town here somewhere. Random address that I just made up. And so we have our location, which you can use your current location, which what it does by default. Or you can search for one as I did here for the purposes of the video.
Current conditions, overcast, 58 degrees and falling, feels like 58, high of 62 degrees, low of 51. Double tap for more data.
So there's your current, big old current information there. Even for low vision, like the temperature is, I can read that no problem. Giant 50 circle with 58 in the middle of it there. Again, no direct feed voice over audio because audio mirroring is still broken. Hopefully Apple eventually addresses that, but nevertheless, we will press on. So down below, this is where it gets interesting.
Next hour, overcast. Nearest precip is 245 miles to the east. Button.
So it says it's overcast, but nearest precip is X number of miles to the east. This is where, and if you're looking at it visually, it'll kind of give you like a visual indicator graph as well. So, like right now it's empty and there's just words there, but if there were rain, you see there's like the above and below those 3 lines of text, there's a horizontal line. In between there, if you have rain, like let's say it's just going to, the last few days it's been kind of misting and sprinkling, so you'll see a little bit of, you'll see blue going a little bit up from the bottom. But if it's like a huge downpour, you'll see the blue will basically rise a lot higher up in between those two, so you can get a really quick, just at a glance, a visual indicator, and it'll tell you, sprinkling or heavy rain or whatever it is. And it'll be even a lot more detailed. It'll say like, sprinkles, light mist ending in 15 minutes, likely to start in another 25 minutes. So that's really handy, especially think about how blind and visually impaired people have to travel. Where we don't just get in our car, walk 2 feet from our front door to our car, or if not in our covered garage, and go where we want to go. We want to run an errand, we got to take the bus, we got to walk, we got to whatever. So I find this app really helpful for, it's a cloudy day, I can tell, but is it supposed to rain? Or if it's going to rain this afternoon, can I, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, can I sneak out and get my grocery shopping done real quick, or do my errand that I need to do? It's really great for that, and kind of just timing things a little bit. Or it's like, it's heavy raining out and I gotta go to work, is it going to let up really soon? All right, it's a downpour, screw it, it's not. All right, call up, open up the old Lyft or Uber apps and arrive to work fairly dry instead of waiting for the bus. For those types of things, it's excellent for. And then below that, you have this kind of vertical timeline. On the left, you have now. and down. So if I'm just going to drag my finger
Now.
down.
11 p.m. 1 m. 3 m. 5 m.
So it labels like every 2 hours. And on the right hand side,
Mostly cloudy.
mostly cloudy. You kind of have to, if you're totally blind, what I would probably recommend is kind of going more toward the right hand half of your screen, and then look at the right hand side to get like a broad view of the upcoming conditions. So I'm going to take
Mostly cloudy.
mostly cloudy. I'm going to drag straight down.
Partly cloudy.
Partly cloudy. So let's say that was rain. I'm going to slide my finger up.
Mostly cloudy.
Mostly cloudy. I'll slide back down.
Partly cloudy.
And then I'll slide directly over to the left. And I'm like,
Partly
oh, what
cloudy.
time is that supposed to happen?
50.
Oh,
3 m.
okay, so roughly about 3 a.m. It's kind of switching now. It might be more in the middle as well, because if you're looking at there's like a little gray, sometimes it turns blue, line in the middle. You can kind of tell that, oh, it's kind of gradually fading in, but it'll at least give you a rough idea of like, oh, okay, is it going to just keep going back and forth from rain to clouds to rain to clouds to sun, whatever. So that's the main page. The other thing I can do is if I go up to my current conditions, I can double tap that.
Location.
And this is what I like. So it just gives me a nice straightforward pieces of information.
Temp.
Temperature.
58 degrees. Feels like 58 degrees.
Okay. And I like the feels like, because a lot of places, like up here, you deal with humidity or you deal with wind chill. And that's really handy to know. Down south, you're like, oh, yeah, it's 78 degrees, but the humidity is so high it feels like 93. It feels so much hotter. So that's kind of helpful. Then you have wind.
2 miles per hour from the.
So that is really key for me, because up where we live, wind is almost always a factor. So it might say, oh, yeah, it's 60 degrees, but oh, we got a 15, 20 mile an hour wind. Well, that kind of drops. That could mess with your temperature by about 10, 15 degrees on a given day.
Humidity. 65% middle dot to part 46 degrees middle.
So same thing with humidity.
Pressure. 1006 megabytes and steady. Visibility. 10 plus me.
Megabytes, that's pretty funny.
UV index 0.
All right, so it gives you a UV index.
Close.
Something to plan for your day.
2 of 3.
Now, I'm back to the main screen. If I take 3 fingers and swipe to the left.
Bottom of screen. Next hour. Most page 3 of 3. Saturday. 0% chance.
So it's just like your home screen. You have like 3 different home screens. If I swipe to the right and which pans to the left, I get like an overhead map/radar view, which isn't really all that useful if you are, totally blind. But if you do have some vision, and I'll show you that shortly, but you can kind of get a, like, oh, okay, well, there's a whole bunch of rain, or, oh, okay, we're just getting a little spurt here. But then this is our forecast
Wednesday,
page.
7% chance of precipitation. High of 62 degrees. Low of 46. Wednesday, 7% chance of precipitation.
So not too much there.
WED. 46 degrees. Thursday, 0% chance of precipitation. High of 71 degrees. Low of 51.
Okay, no rain.
Thursday, 0% chance of precipitation. High of 71 degrees. Low of
71.
51.
Fair day.
Friday, 20% chance of precipitation. High of 79 degrees. Low
Okay,
of 61.
79. That's not as bad as it was earlier. They were saying it was supposed to be like 80 something.
Saturday, 0% chance of precipitation. High of 70 degrees. Sunday, 67% chance of precipitation. High of 66 degrees. Monday, 64% chance of precipitation. High of 64 degrees. Low of 53.
All right, well, so you get the idea. You get about a 7-day forecast there. So, it's it behaves a lot like a regular weather app, but again, it's more focused on letting you know about possible bad weather or rain that's in the area. And you can turn these off, but one thing that is also really handy is it does give you push notifications. So, if you have them enabled, it'll tell you, oh, hey, light rain starting in 10 minutes, or, thunderstorms stopping in St. Paul. It'll tell you at least a rough idea. And for the most part, what I've found is it to be pretty accurate. It's been off a little bit here and there, but for the most part, it's been pretty good. So like I said, trying to plan, like, oh, when am I going to head out the house and get something done really quick, I've actually had a pretty good chance to do that. Let's go back to our
Page
main
2 of 3.
screen here, and I'll
Partly
show
cloudy.
you.
Page 1 of 3. Today.
So here is our kind of our radar globe here. And we got little patches of, I can't really tell. Oh, okay, that's like the whole U.S. That's interesting. So, okay, well, I thought it would give you more of a local. Let me see.
PRECIB. But temperature.
Okay, I can get a temperature
Button.
or precip.
Close. Button.
Or,
Today. Today. 9 p. NOW. Not today. Play. Button.
okay. There's probably a way, like if I turn voiceover off. Okay, yeah, so I can zoom in. I can pinch to zoom. So I can go, wee. Okay, well, let's go right about here. So yeah, and then I can pan, so whatever. Anyway, I hit close in the upper right, and then you're back at your home screen. So that is just a quick look at dark sky. It is, except for the radar stuff, some of that, it is perfectly accessible to VoiceOver. And like I said, I like some of the push notifications. I like the kind of breakdown, especially of the next hour. Like when I'm leaving work, it's like, okay, do I have to, am I going to get drenched on the way home? Or is it, oh, if it's just a light sprinkle, that's fine, I'll take the bus. But if it's going to be a downpour, I'm not above paying for an Uber or a Lyft. Not at all. Did that a little bit last week, actually. So, yeah, I would highly recommend this app. Like I said, it's not free, but it's definitely worth a couple of bucks that you would pay for it. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's Dark Sky, available for iOS and I believe Android as well. Actually, I'm not sure if it is on Android, but it probably is. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Follow me on Twitter at BGFH79. And until next time, talk to you guys again later.